from a different star, flying over streets and the broken hearts. But they can't even touch us, we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the leaves. Ooh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts.
Hello and welcome to this very exciting vlog. So this weekend I am over at Berry Farm for the BD South and Eastern Region Inter-County Championships. I'm competing for Bedfordshire, got my team t-shirt on. Sadly I didn't video the qualifier that you had to do to get on the team because I think I was there on my own, but we basically had to go and do a prelim test in front of a judge, and they used that as part of their selection process along with looking at your scores, etc., that you normally go out and get when you're competing. So yeah, Mega and I bagged ourselves a place on the team, which is very exciting. We haven't been part of the champs before. We did, I think, pre-COVID, they couldn't do it as a championship, so they just did it as county championships, and we placed as the Bedfordshire Prelim County Champion in 2020. So we are hoping that we retain a good, strong performance from today. So we're here on it's Saturday today, and we've got to do one prelim test, which is prelim 17A, and then tomorrow we come back and we do prelim 19. So yeah, we have just arrived. Because it's at Berry Farm and it's really local to us, we're not actually stabling, but you'll have seen some people are staying because you've got counties from all over the southern and eastern regions. You've got Norfolk, Sussex, Hertfordshire, London, like there's loads of us. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how we get on, and I wanted to take you guys along for the ride because we're not staying over, but because I'm nice and local, I'll be popping backwards and forwards, still being very much part of the team fun.
When you're down and you stare out your window, hoping that you'll come up with some words to say, that's not okay. When you feel like you're fed up with heartbreak, and you know that you can't take another day, well, that's not okay.
Okay, so here we go. Voiceover Lauren is back for the first test of the inter-county finals. So we're coming up the centre line and we will track right at C. The judges just commented that we were drifting left a little, but we scored a 7 for that, so very pleased. You then changed the rein RXV in working trot and we scored another 7 for that. You then continue round VKA, and at A you start your 20-metre circle. We then scored a 7.5 for that with a comment of nice rhythm. I could feel like she was started to settle into the test a little more here. She was a little bit uptight in the warm-up, and when we went into the main arena, she did come to life a little bit. So I was pleased we were managing to hold it together. Continuing on, we changed the rein in working trot PXS. We scored a 7 for that. She actually really embraces a change across the diagonal. She really lifts her shoulders and doesn't tend to go as on the forehand. So we do tend to get a slightly better mark, which is always good. Then at C, we do another 20-metre circle and we scored a 7.5 for our circles too. Now, if you've watched any of my recent vlogs, you will know that I do feel like I've managed to get a grip of getting Mega to try and bend around my inside leg, and that really is showing with our recent marks. And then the uptightness came back a little. So here in this corner, we pick up canter, and you can see clearly Mega's quarters are in slightly. So we got a 6 for that, sadly. And then at B, we circle right 20 meters, which we scored a 6.5 for, again, still saying that her quarters were in. And I just didn't correct it quick enough and bring her shoulders round to try and counteract that. Then between P and F, you do a half circle right and then return to the track between K and V. We scored a 7 for that. I think I just slightly adjusted her, which made all the difference. You then change the rein, VXR, transitioning back to working trot at X, and we scored a 6.5 for that with a comment of a little against the hand. Then between C and H, we pick up working canter left, which was a much better transition. You can see her quarters are much better here. But then she sort of lost her front foot here. It looks like she spooks on the camera. So she only got a 6.5 for that, sadly. We then do a 20-meter circle at E again, which we picked up a 7 for. Better this way, could be more supple from the judge. And then again between V and K, half circle 20 meters, returning to the track between F and P, we scored a 7. And then changing the rein, PXS, transitioning to trot after X, we scored a 6.5, saying the transition was a little early. So pilot error from Lauren, very naughty. Then we continue working trot round and transition to medium walk between H and C. We scored a 6.5, saying the transition could be a little more fluent. And then CMR is medium walk. We scored a 6.5, not always to contact, which just showed that she was a little tense really and hadn't properly relaxed into the test. Then R to K, we changed the rein in free walk on a long rein. Normally this is Mega's party trick and we always get a good mark for our free walks if you're familiar with our tests. But sadly we scored a 6.5 for this, saying fair steps but needs a more consistent stretch. And yeah, I completely agree. I mean, what is that head tossing? She doesn't do that at all. That's something we used to do right at the beginning of our dressage journey but haven't done for a long time. So that was frustrating. We lost a good few marks for that. K to A in medium walk, and A turned down the centre line, transition to trot, which we scored a 7.5 for. You then continue up the centre line, and between I and G come to a progressive halt. As you can see, I got to X and I was having to kick like Billy-O. Mega wanted to halt there, but somehow we still managed to get a 7 with comments of saying drifted sideways before a square halt. Test is all done, looking a little bit pink. Someone was a bit spicy today. Megwin brought some extra energy. I think she thought or hoped we might be jumping, but sadly not. So it was just a case of trying to contain the enthusiasm or channel it in the right way. And she did do a fairly nice test. It wasn't her best test, but it wasn't awful. I did manage to hold her together. So fingers crossed. Here is our little camp area. Team flags. Whoop whoop. Go Team Bedfordshire. So I've come back to Bury Farm this evening. We've got the stable judging competition, which is the holiday theme. I'll show you what absolute carnage the stable block is. I'm quite glad Mega's not staying. Not sure how she would have coped with that. And then yeah, on to dinner and games. Oh yeah, there's JJ. Hi! You cutie!
So your tears been running like a waterfall. Thought the stars would never let you down. And you keep on thinking you can save yourself. But that's love, that's just love. You should know some things will hurt, and you'll end up getting burned. I just hope that you will learn. That's just love, that's just love. Get back up again, even if you don't know when. And it feels like the world is coming down on you. You have to move on, deal with your broken heart. No matter what you think, you'll never ever get enough of that. And you end up getting burned.
Good morning, it is day 2 of the Intercounty Champs. Just walking up to the stables, give Megwin her breakfast, check her plats. Fingers crossed. I did put her hood on to see if we could try and maintain them for today, but whether that's happened or not, who knows? I forgot to tell you guys, yesterday our finished result for our prelim 17A test, we finished on 68.1%, which I was pleased with. We had a couple of mistakes. She tripped, although in the video I think it looks like she spooks a little bit in her canter and her final centre line. She tried to put on the brakes from like X when we need to halt at G. So we lost some marks for that. But overall, I was actually really pleased with her. She was really full of it yesterday. So I'm hoping for a little more calm today. See if we can get a better mark. And it's prelim 19, which is a test we're a little more familiar with. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Not sure of individual placings at the moment, but team, we're sitting in 5th. So let's see what today brings. Here's Megwin in her bat suit, looking suitably unimpressed. She said it's so embarrassing. Please take it off. Please take it off. Good job I put it on you though, because look at the state of you. Filthy. So unhappy. She said, get me my breakfast. Get me my breakfast, Mum. Definitely may have snuck a bit of karma into her food today. See if that makes any difference. Look at the state of you, Megs. We are ready to go. Day 2. Oh dear, she still looks wired.
Epiphany rising. Got a lot wrong, you see bright as lightning. Already memories, now I just don't really care what you feel, what you feel, what you feel. Shame on me.
Okay, let's do this. Our final test of the Intercounty Champs. So we head down the centre line and track right at C. We scored a 7, saying I slightly overshot at A and then went straight. So again, naughty Lauren with her piloting issues. Then at R, we circle right 15 metres. We scored a 7, saying not always consistent in energy. So whether that was just us finding our rhythm at the beginning of the test, who knows? We then continue round and change the rein in working trot, B to K. We scored a 7. Like I said yesterday, she does like her changing the rein across the diagonal. She gets into a right little rhythm, so that's always good. Then we mosey on round to P and circle left 15 metres. We scored a 7, saying accurate, could be more supple. But I think she looks a really nice picture here. I'm really happy with my positioning. My hands are much stiller, which just means that Mega goes much nicer. So far, I'm actually really pleased with how she's going in this test. Then between B and R, we transitioned down to a medium walk. I remember doing this transition and thinking, oh, that was just exquisite. We scored a 7 for that. And the comments say an improved second half in the contact. So she can get a little bit stuffy in her medium walk. So we do sometimes lose some marks there. That's a really fair comment from the judge there. Then we changed the rein in free walk on a long rein, S to P. We scored a 7.5. So that was much, much better than yesterday. Much more pleased with this. This is exactly how Mega normally does her free walks. So yeah, pleased to see normality has resumed there. She looks lovely and relaxed. Then in this test, this is the bit I always find tricky to manage. She's quite hard to pick up and not get all uptight and tense. But between P and F, we go back to medium walk. And then just before A, we transition to working trot. And we scored a 7, which is probably one of the better marks that we've got from that movement in this particular test. So I was really pleased with that. Then we circle A 20 meters, transitioning to canter at X. We scored a 6.5 with a comment of a little resistance in the transition, which I think is completely fair. Mega actually now anticipates where she's going to do things in this test because we've done it so much. So that is not ideal, but we work with it. Then at E, we circle right 20 meters. And then between the center line and E, we transition back down to working trot. We scored a 7 for that. I just feel like on this particular day, her canter was a lot better than the previous day. She wasn't so uptight and she wasn't as tense. Then E to M, we changed the rein in working trot. Again, we scored a 7.5. Loving these change of the reins across the diagonal. Then at C, we start another circle, left 20 meters and transition to canter when we cross the center line at X. We scored a 7 and the judges commented better this way. So yeah, she wasn't as tense through the transition and she didn't predict it quite as much. So that was good. We then continue in canter round to E and do another circle, 20 meters, returning to trot between the center line and E. We scored a 7 for that. The judges commented saying I started my circle a little bit late. So again, naughty Lauren with the pilot issues costing us valuable marks. But I remember this transition was really nice as well. And then we continue on to V and do a circle left 20 meters, allowing the horse to stretch. Now, this movement isn't normally a particularly high scoring one for us. Mega's always a little bit reluctant to stretch in a test, but we scored an 8 for this. The judges put could have a bit more energy, but good stretch. And I agree, Meg looks fab here. I've then got the issue of when I pick her up after her stretch, she's a little bit reluctant to accept that, but we get through it. Actually, she's done a lot worse than that before, so I wasn't too displeased with that. We then come up the center line. I'm trying to get ahead of her because I know she's going to try and slam the brakes on because we're halting at G, but I still had to keep doing it. We're going to have to practice here. So we got a 6.5 saying that there was a little resistance to the halt. Tell me you've had your mane in plats for 2 days without telling me you've had your mane in plats for 2 days. That is a strong 2-day perm, Meggie. Mega's decided she likes the taste of homegrown plums. Don't you, Meggie? Guys, I cannot tell you how pleased I am with Mega. That was probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, the best ever test she has ever done. She warmed up so much nicer today, was much more responsive, and obviously with the help of Amy, my trainer, we got some lovely work out of her. And yeah, that test was just sublime. That's the only way I would describe it. The only thing I could fault was her centre line. She did her little party trick of getting to X and slamming the brakes on, but super pleased no matter what the result is. gosh, what a weekend and what a whirlwind it's been. So proud of Mega and everything we have achieved this weekend. We have only done the inter-county champs once before, and that was actually just held at county level rather than regional, because of the COVID restrictions and stuff that was in place. That was 2020, pre-surgery, everything. And yeah, this time she's come back absolutely fighting. So Saturday we did prelim 17A. She scored 68.1%, which I was actually really pleased with because she felt quite tense and uptight in the warm-up. So I'm glad we managed to hold it together for that. On Sunday we did prelim 19, the test that we've literally done pretty much all year thanks to prelim festivals, and I can safely say I don't think she's ever felt so nice in a test. Like, oh, she felt absolutely pucker and came away with a lush score of 70%, which just demonstrates how amazing her work was. That finished us individually on Sunday. For that particular test, I think we were 6th or 7th. Overall in the placings individually, we were just outside of the top 10. I think we finished in 11th. So sadly missed out on a rosette, but so pleased with her because there was about 40 competitors in our class. And for her to be competitive at that level, there's no restrictions in, you know, like gold, silver, bronze riders. I think the person that won the prelim actually normally competed at like novice and elementary on their horse. So for us to even be, you know, competitive against them, having only competed at prelim, is just insane really, and just shows, you know, how much hopefully capability we have going forward. So yeah, really chuffed with her. Not only that, at county level we were the best scoring partnership at prelim, so we were crowned once again prelim Bedfordshire County champions, which she is just an absolute legend in my eyes. But I hope you guys have enjoyed coming along this weekend. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, because I'm sure there will be another video coming very soon. Until then, bye.